After successful installation, select Docs Sheets Generator and run it with the Start Program button. Read the application's permissions and click the Allow button. The Program side panel will appear on the right. Let's imagine that we need to provide our employees with a certificate of employment. Having a list of employees, we'd normally have to manually copy their data to the appropriate places in the document. Unfortunately, such manual copying takes a long time and is prone to human mistakes. Fortunately, thanks to Docs Sheets Generator, we are able to automate this process. It's enough for us to create fields in the document which are identified by angle brackets. In these fields, the program will automatically insert appropriate records from the sheet, thanks to which we're able to generate a huge amount of documents in a very short time. It is also worth adding that we can style the fields according to our preferences. For example, we color the name field red, and from the type of contract field, remove bold and add an underline. At this stage, we're fully ready to generate documents in 5 quick and easy steps. In step 1, we enter the link to the sheet from which the program will download the data. To get a link to the spreadsheet, we find the datasheet we're interested in on our Google Drive, then copy the entire link and enter it into the field. In step 2, we fill in the fields which columns from the sheet correspond to the fields in the template. Enter the letter A into the name field. This means that the program will take the name field in angle brackets from the document and replace it with records from column A. It's also worth noting that we can create such fields as we like, anywhere in the document, and the program will automatically detect them. Returning to the example, we complete the address field by entering the letter D. The address field will be replaced with records from column D. We complete further which columns from the sheet correspond to the fields of interest. The contract commencement date is letter F because it's in column F. Similarly, the contract end date is letter G, and the type of contract is letter E. In step 3, we enter a link to the folder where the program will save the generated documents. We find or create a folder on our Google Drive and then copy its address. We enter the entire address into the program. The generated documents will be saved there. In the 4th step, we complete the range of lines for which the program will generate documents. We go to the datasheet we're interested in our example, workers list, and then we find the data range we're interested in. For example, if we want to generate 5 documents, which will start from Kacper to Damian, we enter 5 and 10 in the range fields, because this is how the lines in the sheet are marked. Similarly, if we wanted to generate documents in the range from Beata to Philip, we'd enter the range from 18 to 19. If we'd like to generate a single document, for example only for Susanna, we enter the range from 12 to 12. However, in our example, we'll generate certificates of employment for all employees, from Annetta to Patrick, so we enter the range from 2 to 22. In the 5th step, we enter the column number from the sheet, which will define the name for each individual generated document. In our example, the name of the document will be the email address of a given person, so we select the column with letter C. Optionally, we can save the entered data to program history, thanks to which we won't have to complete the above fields from scratch if we want to generate new documents on their basis in the future. Let's save the setting and name it Certificate of Employment. All the necessary data is completed. We click the Generate button and wait for the program to finish its work. The generation time depends on the number of generated documents. In our example, it's a few seconds for 22 records. After this is finished, go to the folder that we have given as the save location in the program. 22 certificates of employment have been generated in the folder with properly filled in data for each employee. After restarting the program, in the Generation History tab, we'll see the button. If we click on it, the data from the previous generation will be automatically entered into the fields. The loaded fields can also be changed for the needs of the current generation. It should also be remembered that the program saves the history of generations in a sheet on the Google Drive, which should not be deleted.